with Freedom Pharma, and we have an election coming up on the 5th of November. From my perspective, yes, I'm going to vote. Won't tell you how I'm going to vote. You'll probably figure it out by the end of this little video. What I look at from the main problem we've got in the United States is a health crisis. And, you know, I'm involved in the health industry, and the fact that we're right now doing a treatment for a drug called, for a bacteria called C. difficile, which infects, you know, probably 500,000 people in the United States every year, kills about 30,000. And I've learned a lot since I've been trying to bring this drug to market. I'm a complete novice in the drug development business, but one thing I have learned is that when you've got profit versus patients, it sort of doesn't work well together, in the fact that, you know, profit typically has to win, because, you know, the companies that are giving drugs and such, you know, need to make money to pay for the drugs, and obviously the people that need the drugs, you know, have to be sick to benefit from the drug. You know, really what I'm saying would be a better way of looking at this whole thing would be, let's incentivize health. In other words, is there a way of making people that are healthy get some benefit for not being burdening the healthcare system? A big problem with that, to a certain degree, in the fact that the healthcare industry is the largest industry right now as far as employing people in the United States, and it's also the fastest growing. And so from a macroeconomic point of view, it provides a lot of jobs. It's hard to argue against the healthcare industry, but maybe there's a way, an industry that could replace it, which would be the legitimate healthcare industry, instead of what we really should be terming the sick care industry. The healthcare industry should be, how can we make people healthy? And one of the things in our case, and this is what I was saying, even with our C. difficile treatment, which we're now swinging into a preventive treatment, let's keep people from getting C. difficile bacterial infection, and we have a solution for that. You can check that out. But in all other cases, let's see if we can't make people eat correctly to the point where they don't get chronic illnesses. Make sure they exercise to the point where they aren't getting overweight, you know, which is probably one of the main problems. As a matter of fact, interesting, you go back to COVID, you know, one of the biggest problems with COVID, the people who succumbed to COVID worse were people who had comorbidities and were overweight. And so now, instead of incentivizing the fact that we need sick people for the so-called healthcare industry to work, why don't we incentivize people that do things to stay healthy? And that's just my thought going in. I think when I look at Robert Kennedy Jr., he is promoting Make America Healthy Again, which I think is a good thing. You got to look at, how do we do that? And they talk food and pharma. Those are the two main things. In other words, you know, a pill for every ill is not a good thing, and eating food that's not healthy is a bad thing as well. So there should be some incentivizing to make people eat better. And the biggest question there is, you say, okay, well, we have ultra-processed foods and cheap foods because more people can afford them. Well, maybe that's where we have to have the incentives. Healthy food should be food that can be afforded by everyone. You know, in other words, if there's an income disparity as to, you know, people who have the means financially to afford healthy food, well, okay, everybody should be able to afford the same food, regardless of your income status, because those are the things, you know, it's going to come back to bite the economy to begin with. When those people who are eating poorly because they can't afford it, you know, are now burdening the healthcare system. So it's kind of funny. The people who can afford to eat well now have to pay higher taxes to pay for the people that are sick to be taken care of because they don't eat well. Well, wouldn't it be better pay the taxes to afford better food for the people who can't afford it so they don't get sick to begin with? I mean, if you think about it, in general, it comes out to the same level, but at least now everybody's in a lot better shape. So anyway, just my thought. I think there's more chance of that happening with a vote for Trump Kennedy. You know, I know that's not the ticket, but, you know, at least you're thinking about what it would be to bring that kind of thing together. I think the opportunity is there more in the fact that at least they're talking about it, which I don't see that coming from the other side at all. Anyway, that's my opinion, whether you want to think it's worth listening to at all. John Hare, Freedom Pharma, signing off. Have a look at GutFix, gutfix.com. Meantime, gut fix yourself.
You can't stop.